Welcome back to Cosmopolitan Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is a BGC recap. I actually decided to not recap the first episode because I was annoyed very quickly, and so I'm starting from episode 2, but I will do a quick little catch me up before I get into the actual details of episode 2. Before I start, I do want you guys to know that I do have guests over, so I ain't gonna be as loud as I usually am, okay, because everybody's asleep in my house right now and it is pretty late, so I'm trying to be respectable, okay? Not respectable, respectful. Also, I'm gonna try to do my makeup like the way I see people do their makeup. Today, I'm gonna try something new and see if I like it. As far as face makeup goes, all the products will be linked in the description box. If there's any music playing in this tutorial, it'll also be in the description box. Y'all always ask me for my damn songs, so I'll link everything below. But other than that, let's get it poppin'. So apparently this is the very final season of Bad Girls Club, and it is called Bad Girls Club East Coast versus West Coast. And so there are girls from the East Coast and there are girls from the West Coast, and they are basically put in the house to live together just like regular Bad Girls Club, only this time around they have like, both teams have like tasks to do and they get points for those tasks, and I guess by the end of the season whoever has more points wins. I don't know what they win, if they win anything, if they get to go on the trip and the other girls don't. That would suck, honey. That's a very good idea. So last week the drama started basically immediately. What happened was one of the girls, Susan, told another girl, Sayora, that she was married, and usually people that are married wouldn't step foot in the Bad Girls Club, but she, I guess, wants to be in the Bad Girls Clubhouse, so she left home to do that. And so if there's anything that I've learned watching this show, it's not to put your business out there, especially not at first, because people do judge and they will use it against you, and it won't be in a court of law, honey. So you might want to be careful who you tell your business to. Anyway, based on the nature of the information, I guess Sayora decided she wanted to share it with people because it was pretty shocking information. I mean, should she share it? Probably not, but I guess she just kind of felt like the girl shouldn't really be there because she's married and openly is cheating on her husband and admitting to that on TV. So I don't even understand why the girl's mad to begin with. Like, it's no secret. I am sick and tired of these reality show people acting like what they said to their friend or person was in confidence when there's a big old camera pointed at them when they're telling this person. Like, it's going to come out. So there's no point in getting mad at that. But basically, because Sayora opened her big mouth and it was the first day in the house or the second day in the house, all the girls kind of started feeling some type of way towards her, and that's basically how all the drama began. Due to this, Susan, the person that is cheating on her husband, got upset, and even though she's the person that should be the most angry, another girl named Kiara, there's so many names, you guys, honestly, this is going to be so confusing. Kiara ended up having a problem with Sayora because she felt like her mouth was too big and that she's being fake and blah blah blah, and so basically they kicked off in an argument, and that's what happened last week. So now we can move into this week. If you didn't watch last week's episode, child, go watch it, okay? So this week the episode starts with Susan and Francesca. And Francesca is the only white woman in the house. She has blonde hair, she has pink highlights in it, and she's pretty much neutral. And in their beginning scene, they're basically recapping what happened in the last episode. Then we see that DeShayla, or Shay, whatever you want to call her, is holding hands with Sayora, but the other girls, mainly Kiana's the big girl, she ended up having a problem with this, and DeShayla is the girl with the blonde dreads. So Kiana decided that she wanted to have a big fucking issue with the fact that they were just talking about Sayora in the other room, and now all of a sudden they're buddy chum chum. She's holding her hand, walking her in the house, telling her she wants to protect her, she doesn't want anybody to go home, blah blah blah, and so Kiana's like, that's fake as hell, that's fake as hell, that's fake as hell. She doesn't like that, and she's deciding that she's going to address the situation because she doesn't like it. At first, I was looking at it as DeShayla was just being grown about the situation, because honestly, it's so early. They haven't even got to know each other yet. And the girl told the girl's business, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. She didn't tell your business. So there's no point in you, like, you know, beefing with her about it. Until she does something to actually piss you off. You can keep an eye on her and watch her. But, you know, maybe that was just something she felt that she needed to share with everybody, because it would just be like, well, why the hell is a married person in the house? Like, this ain't Real Housewives, bitch. Go find a different show. I personally thought it was kind of nice of DeShayla to be giving Sayara some advice so that she wouldn't end up going home early. At least not this early. But the other girls didn't look at it that way. We are not in the house, child. So, you know, whatever they say goes. But that's just my personal feelings on it. Was she a little fake about it because she was just calling her the weakest link and all this? But maybe she had to change her heart in 2 seconds. I don't know. You know how the Bad Girls Club is, honey. They be flip-flopping all the time. So, like, what can we do? What can we really do? But like I said, Kiana is planning to address DeShayla because she thinks it's fake. And, I mean, do you, boo? I felt like she was putting a little bit too much passion into it, but everybody deals with situations differently. A part of me kind of just felt like she wanted to make her mark in the house. You know what I mean? So Kiana and Kiara are actually like best mates in the house, and Kiana, the one that is the big girl that is trying to like make a big deal out of the situation, she kind of went to Kiara and was basically complaining to her about DeShayla and saying like she's being fake as hell. But Kiara didn't see it like that. She's like how she just feels like she's trying to be the peacemaker, which you can look at it in that way too. But she was trying to like get her to be on her side, and it just wasn't working out for her. She ended up finishing her cigarette and walking her little ass off, even though they're like Bati and Bench. 7, who I kind of thought might be my fave. She reminds me a lot of myself. But not really. Like, I don't know how to explain it. She reminds me of like my younger self. I like her attitude so far, but I still have to wait and see, because she might turn and, you know, whatever. I definitely feel like she's remaining neutral in the house. She does talk to everybody, and she's even offered Sayara some advice as well, because Sayara didn't do nothing to these bitches. She only said something about Susan's personal life, which you can look at however you want to. 7 ends up telling Kiara, who is Kiana's best friend in the house, that she feels like her and Kiana are gonna pop off. And so if they do, I'm here for it. So in the next scene, some of the girls are sitting on the rooftop, I believe, and Sayara is one of the people out there. So Sayara is the person that seemed to have no fans at the very beginning, and Kiara ended up telling her that she wants an apology. And so Sayara was like, bitch, for what? She didn't say bitch, but she's like, for what? What am I apologizing to you for? And Kiara gets so mad, and she's basically like, okay, cool, kind of thing. She like shuts her down, or shuts her out. Basically, she wanted an apology for her running up on her. I ain't never heard no shit like this in my life. What do you mean you want an apology for for being ran up on? Like, this is like a day or 2, maybe even 3 later, and she's asking for an apology about that. And I'm just like, I didn't see what the reason for that was. She was talking, she ran up on her, they didn't fight, call it a day. The reason they didn't fight was because Kiana actually jumped in the middle of the fight and pushed, trying to be like some ride or die BFF. Like, she pushed Sayara out of the way. She did come up aggressively, but like, I don't think she was running up on her to fight. I guess if you run up, you get done up. But I didn't feel like she was running up on her to fight. I felt like she was running up on her to ask her exactly what she was trying to ask her, because Kiara was trying to act like she was defending Susan. This is in the last episode, but she wasn't. And so now to Susan's face, she's trying to say the opposite. And so I guess because everybody kind of turned on Sayara, her emotions were running high, and that's why she ran up on her, trying to be like, when were you ever defending her? And I was like, yeah, I want to know too. Shoot, bitch, like, when were you defending her? And this is what I'm saying. Already all the girls are displaying flip-flopper ass traits, which is nothing new in the Bad Girls Clubhouse. Like, ugh, so annoying. Like I was saying, Kiara catches an attitude about Sayora saying, why am I apologizing to you? And she basically threatens her life. She basically tells her, if you try that shit again, you're going to lose your life. Like, don't ever in your life run up on me because I will end you. I will destroy you. That's basically what she told her. She said, I will knock your head off your shoulders or some shit like that. Quite frankly, in my opinion, the only person Kiara should be fighting is her damn hairdresser, because her wig is looking all kinds of bad and then some. Like, her wig is so bad, you guys. She just looks broke down. Like, I can't even explain to you. You do not go on no TV show and your weave is looking piss poor. Like, I'm so sorry about it. Like, please do not. But that's the only person she should really be fighting. Her fucking hairdresser. Because she did her dirty. Real dirty. From the minute I saw her weave, you guys, I was like, I don't even know if it's a weave or wig or what it is. I don't know. I don't care. But from the minute I saw it, I said, no, no ma'am. No ma'am. Unacceptable. Unacceptable! Sayora makes it a point to say, I guess in her confessional, that she thinks that Kiara is jealous of her because she doesn't understand why she would be so angry. And a part of me agrees, because I'm pretty sure it was her in the first episode that was saying she doesn't really get along with the pretty type, like the girls that are all pretty and stuff, because she's from the hood. Like, it's stupid as fuck. I hate girls like that. I don't understand. What is that logic? Like, if you're not getting along with people simply because they're pretty, then you are obviously extremely insecure. I don't remember if it was her that said it, but I think it was, because I'm pretty sure they are the first two that ended up meeting up at the restaurant before they went to the clubhouse, and then Susan came after. A couple hours later, after this argument on the rooftop, Sayora ends up finding Kiara and apologizing to her, and Kiara basically didn't accept her apology because she feels like it's on some fake shit, because earlier the girl was saying, what am I apologizing for? But she really didn't know what she was supposed to be apologizing for. And I guess once Kiara threatened her life, she decided she would apologize to her, just so that, you know, it's at the beginning of the experience. There's no need for everybody to have so much animosity so soon. It's like, can you guys settle in first? Did you guys even unpack your bags? Like, how are you guys so high-strung and beefing this early on in the show? Like, it's the first fucking day. I totally get, like, finding somebody you like and, like, clinging to them. But to actually have real drama already on the first night, that's just how Bad Girls Club is. But still, it's so sad. It's like, why can't they just get along? Like, they don't give people chances right away, and then because of it, they end up looking fake when they start to talk to people that they were claiming that they didn't like or that they wanted to beat up. I'm like, if you guys just took it easy and didn't let little things piss you off, you guys would do so much better on the show, and you guys wouldn't look so fucking stupid. Anyway, frick and frack. So Kiara and Kiana, Bad Wig and Big Girl, are basically gone to talk to Shay, which is the girl with the dreads, and address the situation with her talking to Sayora after they were just talking shit about her in the other room. And so I think this is a day or two later, and so they go to address her. It's not really the Bad Wig girl, it's mainly the Big Girl that is addressing the situation, and she's just like, that was so weird. Like, she was saying, that was so weird, as if she was talking to another person about it. It was weird how she approached it. I felt like she was approaching it passive aggressively. She said she likes Shayla and she didn't, or Shay, sorry, and she didn't want to have a problem with her, but she wanted to address that situation in particular and find out, like, why she felt the need to befriend the girl, or why she was holding hands with her. I personally don't feel like it's any of her business, because you guys have been in the house all but one day. It's unnecessary for you to be saying oh, why are you friends with this person? And but you were just saying this about them. Like, it's too early for that shit. Can y'all even have a day to get to know each other? Like, what I will say is that yes, DeShayla does look suspect because she was saying what she was saying about Sayara, but at the end of the day, if she decides, you know what, I don't want to look like an ass on TV, I don't want to look like a bully, because every single season we find that there's a clique of bullies in the house. Maybe she had that conversation with herself, and so she decided to be a grown woman and go talk to Sayara, because they're making something so small into something so big. And so I was automatically, last week, I was feeling bad for Sayara, because I'm just like, honestly, the bitch is married. Why is she here? Like, what is she doing here? I feel like the Bad Girls Club opportunity is not for people that are married. Yes, she's young, but like, don't come on TV talking about you're cheating on your husband. Like, come on, that's not even cute. No. As DeShayla is trying to tell Kiana how she feels, I guess she talks with her hands a lot, and she was mildly raising her voice, but it was not in, they were having a conversation. I didn't feel as though it needed to be escalated. I didn't feel as though it needed to be taken to the next level, but Kiana decided that she wanted to bring DeShayla's hands down. This is what I saw. I didn't replay it to make sure, but I'm almost certain that what happened was DeShayla was talking with her hands and bringing her hands up here, and Kiana decided to push her hands down, and so that's when the interaction happened, and that's when DeShayla grabbed Kiana's hands and basically was like trying to say like, listen to me, because you not listening. And she freaked out about it. Like, Kiana freaked out about it, and she was just like, how she better let go of her. She never said that in confessional. She was just like, all I was thinking was, this girl better let go of me, or blah 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 blah. And I was just like, what? I thought they were like kumbayaing. Like, I thought they were trying to like level. I wasn't sure why she got so angry at that. I guess because she was already upset and trying to conceal the fact that she was mad. So now that she's feeling like she can't control the situation and she's addressing it, she felt as though she didn't want to be touched. She felt threatened. I personally think she's motherfucking crazy. So there's that. And I just personally think that all this shit is unnecessary. All of it. Like, I don't even know what's going on at this point. And Kiana's ready to turn up on Shay, and Shay's like, this is dumb as hell. Like, I can't. All in all, Kiana was being extremely extra for no absolute reason. Like, who somebody wants to talk to is none of your business at all. At this point, Kiana basically starts to instigate, and she's basically calling out the house and saying like, everybody thought that you holding Sayara's hands and talking to her after we just finished talking about her was weird. Everybody said that, everybody thought that, and so they start calling out names. They're saying Seven said it, they're saying Seven admits it. She's like, I did think it was weird, whatever. And then they go get Susan. Susan saying, I did not say that. What I said was what I said was. And I was just like, child, I can't. I just can't. It was just so unnecessary. Really? You guys are... Listen to the argument you're having. You're mad that she was holding hands with another woman. Like, what? Is she your girlfriend? Bitch, bye. See you never. Like, ugh. I'm telling you, you guys, if I was ever in that bad girl's house, they would not fuck with me. Like, they would not fuck with me, because I'm not here for the fuckery, I'm not here for the bullying, and I'm definitely not here for the stupidity, in that order. So yeah, nothing really ends up getting resolved, and Shay basically decides that she's only going to be cordial with Kiana. She decides that she does not really like her, and she doesn't really have any choice other than to be cordial with the girl for now, because she's not going to hop off on her. It doesn't make any sense. So the next scene is the photo shoot for the Bad Girls Club main pictures, and I can tell that Kiara, who is the girl with the bad wig, is so insecure. She had to take her pictures with the West Coast girls, which means she had to take pictures with people she didn't like, which was Susan and Sayora. And her reasons for not liking them are irrelevant, but she doesn't like her roommates, and she basically didn't want to take pictures of them. But both of those girls, she clearly is very insecure beside them, and she finds that they're more attractive than her. I don't want to dive into black people and beauty, but we are taught to hate our skin color. We are taught to hate our features, and I feel as though she is definitely struggling with that. I feel as though she's been told she's ugly. I feel as though she's been told she's too dark, and it's hard to love yourself when you've been beaten and broken down that way, you know what I mean? And so I definitely feel for her. I see right through her though. I see her insecurities. They're very present, and I'm hoping that by the end of this experience she grows out of that, because it's really sad to see somebody she's not full grown. I don't know how old she is, but she's grown and she doesn't love herself. I personally think she's beautiful. I just hate her wig, child. I hate her wig. But I think she's really pretty, but I really do feel and naturally pretty too. I feel like she looks better. I don't think I've seen her without makeup, so I can't say she looks better without makeup, but I personally feel like her makeup doesn't do her face justice. I feel like her makeup's not good enough, so I feel like she looked a lot better without makeup on. Does that make sense? I don't know. I can't explain that to you guys. I know what I'm trying to say, and I know what I mean. Maybe you can decode it too. Yeah, that's just how I feel about her. It's sad, but she needs to learn to love herself, because she was outside basically having a bitch fit and saying that like she feels as though they're making the other girls look better than her, when that's not the case. Everybody got the same makeup and hair. Like, it's really not as deep as she's making it, and it's really sad to watch it unfold like that. Like, all her insecurities are showing. There's a scene after the shoot at the bar, and Francesca, the white girl, is just basically explaining what she does for a living and how much she misses her job. And immediately when she was just telling this to them, I could tell that she's not the typical bad girl, and they did say that she's not the typical bad girl, and she's really positive, and like she's a different kind of bad girl. I'm trying to figure out what kind of bad girl she is, honey. But when she was saying this stuff, I found her not to be weak, but I found that, or I felt as though she may be one of the first to go, because she doesn't necessarily fit in attitude wise. The people that are in the Bad Girls Club usually have strong personalities, and they're out there and they're not afraid to, you know, cuss and blah blah blah, but she's not like that. And I feel as though being around all those people might force her to be too far out of her element, and she'll want to go home. We actually witness this going on later on in the episode. She doesn't necessarily say that she wants to go home, but we'll get into that momentarily. That being said, I do like her energy, so I'm hoping she doesn't leave, because it's nice to have somebody that's not so easily high-strung or easily angered, though I'm sure she has layers to peel back. But it's nice and refreshing to have somebody that's not like the rest of them. It's always good to have that level-headed person in the house, but they usually do end up leaving because the show is too ratchet for them, which is fair. If you don't fit in, you don't fit in, and if you're out of your element, you're out of your element. There's no need to force it, because honestly, if ever in life I feel as though something isn't right, I make an executive decision and take action on it. In the next part, I realize that Kiana is very easily triggered. Like, she's triggered by the drop of a hat. I'm starting to see the crazy unfold. I mean, it's only day 2. Like, why is the crazy unfolding this early on Why are you so pressed? Like, the saddest part is, I think she's beautiful. I think she's a really pretty girl, but her personality is intolerable. I can't handle it. I really just can't, and I'm not here for it. I say that she's easily triggered because in this particular scene, first of all, hello highlights. In this particular scene, her, Sayora, Francesca, and Susan are riding in the car. They're on their way back to the house, and I guess they're dick deprived, as she put it, and so they were talking about sitting on a nigga's face, okay? And it made Susan uncomfortable, and Susan decided to say, like, can you guys not talk about stuff like that, blah blah blah. And so that's when it basically went left, because she decided to say that and Kiana was not having it. She's like, so I can't talk about sitting on somebody's face, but you can cheat on your husband? I said, you know what? I said, you know what? She got a point. I ain't gonna lie, she does have a point. But it is immature for her to bring this up. Like, please, please. How I'm looking at this is, if Susan has seen this show, she must have seen the show if she auditioned for it. If she's seen the show, why did she come in the house and on the very first day tell Sayora her personal business? If there's one thing that I have learned from watching Bad Girls Club since season 1, it's you do not tell people your personal business, whether it's about your kids, whether it's about your man, whether it's about your finances. Girl, don't do it. Like, why would you do that? You just met this person. Why are you opening up so quick and saying, oh well, I'm married and I'm not faithful? Like, that's not a good look. 1, 2, you don't know the bitch. You don't know what she's gonna do with your information. How are you calling her a friend? Like, I don't understand some females. I'm just like, how do you say that this person is your friend if you just met them? I have known people for years and I won't call them my friend. So I don't know how somebody could know you for a day and you are her friend, you are her best friend. Like, I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense. And she went in confessional and she was sounding dumb as hell. She verbatim said, this might not be verbatim, but she said that her cheating on her husband is not the same as Kiana sitting on somebody's face, because her husband is real. Kiana sitting on somebody's face isn't a real thing. She's just saying she wants to. I said, bitch, goodbye, please. Like, I couldn't believe that's what she said. I couldn't believe. I'm like, no, you would have just been better off not saying anything at all, because what do you mean it's not the same? Like, you're right, it's not the same. Your situation is way worse. For the fact of the matter is, you came on here talking about you have this nigga, that nigga, this nigga, that nigga, and your husband, bitch. So if you didn't want your business out there, you shouldn't have put your business out there. Point blank, period. I wouldn't have went in the house and did that, would you? I didn't think so. Anyway, because of all this, Kiana was mad as hell and she wasn't letting it go. She just was not gonna let it go. So at this point, Kiana and Susan are popping off at each other, and Kiana just keeps pushing Susan's buttons, and Susan's like, honestly, if she doesn't stop, I will hurt somebody. Like, somebody's gonna get hurt real bad, okay? That's basically what she said. She said somebody is gonna get hurt and real fucking bad. So Kiana's in her face and she's like, why can't I say that I want to sit on somebody's face? What's the problem? And I was like, yeah, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? What is the problem? Why can't she say that, right? And so she's not saying this to Susan. She's saying this to one of the other girls. I might have been Kiara. And she's just like, why can't I say that, but Susan can cheat on her husband? She just keeps repeating herself. And Susan was like, but did you see me cheat on my husband though? And I was just like, really, bitch? That's the card you're gonna pull? Like, what do you mean, did she see you cheat on your husband? You said it out your mouth. It came from the cow's mouth that you have indeed cheated on your husband, that you are cheating on him constantly. So why are you asking any dumb questions about did she see you cheat? She don't have to see you cheat because you already said it. It came from you. It's not like she's making it up. It's not like somebody made this up and they're running with it and it's a lie. This is something that you said out of your mouth, whether you didn't want everybody to know or not. Fact of the matter is, you still said it. So how are you getting mad that this girl wants to sit on somebody's face that does not exist But you're out here telling people that you cheated on your man. Like, I'm really trying to wrap my head around it. And I don't really fuck with any of these bitches in the house, so my opinion is not biased. I don't like Kiana and I don't like Susan. I don't care for either of them. So my opinion on them is solely based on what they've displayed on the show. I do not have a favorite so far, even though I like Seven. I cannot say that she's my favorite. I really can't. They gonna have to do a lot of showing and proving to become a favorite of mine, okay? Because I have not had a favorite since like season 8, bitch. Like, seriously. So she's like, have you seen me cheat? And I was just like, listen, nobody needs to see you cheat because you have not denied this claim. Because for all they know, Sayora could have made it up. But you have not denied it. You just keep saying, don't talk about my husband, don't talk about my husband. Then you should never have mentioned the fact that you had one. Because of course that's going to be the biggest topic that people are going to talk about. The fact that you're in the Bad Girls Club when they could be turning up with somebody that's not married. They wouldn't judge somebody else because they don't have a man back home. How dare you go on TV and embarrass your husband and his family? Like, I just can't even deal. But you know what? I should not be saying that because I cannot judge people. People will do what, you know, what they want to do, and that's between them and God. You know what I mean? Like, we can't judge her. But I'm just saying, for the purpose of the show, why put your business out there if you didn't want it to get talked about? You obviously wanted to get talked about, and you got exactly what the fuck you came for. At this point, Susan is now gonna take her anger out on Sayora because Sayora is not defending her when Kiana's going so hard at her, and she's basically saying that she's being a fake bitch, and then she starts popping off on Sayora because she's basically saying that this is all her fault. No, bitch, it's your fault. It's your fault for opening your mouth and telling your business. Don't blame Sayora because you don't know Sayora. And Sayora made a very valid point, and she said that exactly. She's like, listen, it's not my fault. You came to me and told me that on the second day of meeting me, we were not friends. I was like, this bitch cold as shit. She is cold because, but she's very right. Like, I would never ever just start telling my business to random folk. There's stuff that I'll let you know, and there's stuff that I won't let you know. Like, you know what I mean? I was kind of confused as to why Susan was feeling as though in order to redeem herself, Sayora needed to be defending her when Kiana was popping off on her. I'm like, no, it's not Sayora's place to defend you, bitch. In this world, nobody can defend you but yourself. Like, you can't be expecting things from people. The minute you start expecting things from people, that's the minute you are going to be let down, because people never come through when you need them to. So don't expect things from Sayora when Sayora is the same girl that on the very first day told your business. Why are you expecting anything from her? And she's saying that that's how she should have redeemed herself. No. I'm just like, you're pathetic. Like, honestly, I think she's ridiculous. And you know what sucks? I feel like she's a nice girl, but she's just making some horrible fucking decisions right now. Like, really. Sucks to be her. It really does. Anyway, all of a sudden, like in a sudden turn of events, I'm not even joking, it was all of a sudden, Sayora and Kiana, who are basically supposed to be arch nemesis in the house, are chummy and BFF and like having conversations on the rooftop and like going to sleep in each other's bed now. Like, because Sayora decided she didn't want to sleep in the room with the other girl that she was just with, Susan. Kiana says that she can sleep with her. But if you look at this, it's stupid because Kiana just was getting at Shay for the same thing. The exact same thing. Talking to the girl after you were talking shit about her. I get it though, because she didn't give her a chance. She judged her based off of the one incident and went hard at her, and that's why you can't do that. You cannot go into the house doing that. So I get it. If you flip-flop within the first week, okay, fine. We'll let you have a pass. But anything past the first week, and by first week, I mean first 3 days, you're fake as hell. But I just feel like Kiana is doing the absolute most. Like, she is a lost fucking soul. I personally feel like Kiana has a little bit of a mental imbalance, okay? I'm just saying. Anyway, To ease the tension in the house, a couple of the girls, Francesca and Sayora, end up going to win 5 points each by dancing naked on the rooftop. And I was here for it, I guess. Yana actually said that Sayora has one of the prettiest vaginas she's ever seen. That's a great compliment to have. Like, I would love for somebody to tell me that I have a real pretty pussy. Anyway, my thought in that moment was, at least they're having fun, because it has been a pretty intense 3 days or 2 days, and I'm glad that they're dancing naked on the roof now. Like, live a little. There's no need for them to have so much fucking tension. So because of all that transpired this night, Kiara, who is supposed to be Kiana's best friend, is keeping her eye open and watching Kiana from this point, because now her and Sayora are buddy-buddy when 2 seconds ago they hated each other's guts and they were talking shit about her. So Kiara is going to be feeling a little bit jealous, and she actually displays that momentarily in this scene, and she's just like, I thought that was our thing, like, because Sayora was sleeping in Kiana's bed, and yeah, Kiara was not happy about it, so she lost a cuddle buddy. Before I continue, I just need to point out the fact that DeShayla's eyebrows are absolutely horrid. I don't know if it's a tattoo. I don't know if she draws them on with a Sharpie, but they are not okay, like, at all. I don't even know how to really feel about them because they're that bad. I can't. Francesca, Kiana, and Sayora actually end up going shopping to this little strip place, and I think Shay went as well. And the place they were shopping really reminded me of Jamaica Avenue in New York, and I was living. I'm like, oh my god, I miss it so much, because we went shopping on Jamaica Ave, and like you find there's like these little Asian boutiques, and like you find the cutest little Fashion Nova type shit there, and it's dope. Another thing about DeShayla is that I do not feel that anything about her is fashion forward. I don't feel as though she has good style, and I would never let her style me ever. Like, I'm talking ever, okay? Her style, the way she dresses, the things that she likes, and the outfits that I've seen her in so far are not the business. Like, there's certain people, when you see them dressed, you're just like, ooh, like, bitch, you's fashion forward, honey. Not trendy, but like has an actual style. She does not have that. I'm so sorry about it. Like, no, she does not have that. I'm so sorry. I'm glad that she's trying to pursue something and do something with herself, but I can't picture her as a fashion anything. Designer, stylist, I don't see it. She has no style whatsoever. She dresses really, I don't know the word that I want to use, so I'm not going to use any word. Everybody kind of just seems like they're flip-flopping. Nobody has really found the one person they're closest with or the 2 people that they're closest with yet, which I kind of look at as a good thing, because I like when there's not too much clicks going on, even though they tried to make it like East Coast versus West Coast. I feel as though people aren't automatically clicking to the people that they are supposed to be clicking to. I say that everybody is basically flip-flopping now because now Kiara is basically talking to Susan, Seven present as well. So Seven, Susan, and Kiara are having a conversation, and Kiana walks into the room and she is automatically annoyed because Susan's in there, the same bitch that she has a problem with, and now her best friend in the house, Kiara, is talking to Susan. And it's really just a fucking mess. It's a mess. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I had a feeling that Fran would be one of the first people to kind of crack and like feel like she kind of wants to go home. She didn't say she wants to go home, but she did make a phone call to her mom, and she was basically complaining, for lack of a better word, about what's been going on in the house and how she's feeling, and just basically trying to get some words of encouragement from her mom. And her mom was very encouraging, so shout out to moms. Okay, she basically told her, like, you can do this, you can get through this, don't be discouraged, don't feel like that, you know. Probably the same thing any mom would say. We don't really know why Fran's in the house just yet, but I guess we'll find out. I feel like she's gonna have some crazy story, like, because she's very reserved. She really isn't like the rest of them. And I don't know, maybe they just feel like they needed a white girl, at least one white girl. I remember in the beginning, let me tell y'all, because some of you guys are young and probably haven't seen the first season of Bad Girls Club. It was totally different. Just totally different. It used to be a whole bunch of white girls and like 2 black girls. Now the entire thing is all black girls and 1 white girl, and it's just such a change. And that's not the only thing that's different about the show. Like, it was just totally different. And in 17 seasons, what, 2 spin-offs, I think? It's just crazy to see the drastic change that the show has made. If you get a chance to watch season 1, it's kind of boring, but like, just watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, it's just a completely different show. It's like, you would think that the show had a different title. They definitely have spun the show in a totally different direction than it originally started as, which is cool. But I definitely noticed, and apart from them changing how the show is, over the years it got less and less entertaining for me. Maybe just because I'm growing up, but I think a big part of the problem is the way that they produce the show. How the rules have changed so much. Because I remember at one point when I think Natalie was beefing with them, or I don't know if it was Gabby and Danny, they were basically complaining about how at one point the producers started to let them have their phones just so that they could create extra drama. Which, if you watch any reality show, you know that one of the first things that happens is they take your cell phone from you. You're not allowed to have your phone because you're not really allowed to communicate with the outside world, and that's what makes the show all the more hard. Only recently on The Real World, like the last season of The Real World, they had cell phones that they had provided them with, and the cell phones were kind of bugged so that we could see their text messages and stuff. So the same people that do Real World are the same people that do Bad Girls Club. Anyway, Fran gets off the phone with her mom. I'm not even gonna bother putting on lashes. I know it completes the look, but honestly, it's 1:30 in the morning. Like, a bitch ain't got the time for no damn lashes, because I'm finna take them off immediately, okay? Kiana actually takes it upon herself to rub her pussy, which is not what happened, but she rubbed her pussy and her butt on Susan's bed. She claimed she was bored and wanted to stir up some problems in the house. Her master plan was to do this and then tell the girls in the house and see if it would get back to Susan. Sure enough, it did, but Kiara's fake ass was like, she's like, I can't tell you what it is, somebody else gonna have to tell you because that's my girl, blah blah blah. She couldn't tell her based off of loyalty. It was bullshit. But yeah, the joke was that her dress was actually so long, she didn't get neither her butt or her vagina on this bed. Okay, she just lied and said that she did. All she did was basically, I'm sitting here, I'm wearing shorts right now. She just did one of these on the bed and like rubbed her, like rocked back and forth with her booty on the bed, but she was wearing a dress, so none of her juices or her body fluids got on the girl's bed. Let's be very clear. She was basically pulling a YouTube prank, bitch. They're all on the rooftop. They're all basically kind of laughing at the situation. and claiming that it's funny. I personally don't find that funny. Like, if it was really her pussy and her booty being rubbed on the bed, I wouldn't find a joke in that. I don't see the humor in that. Maybe I have no sense of humor. We all know that's not true. But I definitely did not find humor in this joke that she made. And so I totally got why once Susan found out what it was, she was upset about it, because I would have been upset too. You're not going to tell me that this girl rubbed her crotch out in my bed, and none of you guys were going to tell me until I'm going to bed and laying in it and smelling dirty pussy. Like, that would have had me pretty fucking hot too, so I can't really blame Susan for being upset at that. Anyway, she eventually is told, and honestly I would have been mad at everybody in the house because everybody was in the elevator laughing about it. So after this pussy rubbing incident, Susan is ready to address Kiana, and she does. She addresses her. Before I even get into that, what's funny is Susan went to her room and it's like, is that why my sheets are dirty? But the joke is that she did not rub her pussy or her booty on the sheets. So if they are dirty, it's because your ass, not hers. That's what's real funny about the situation. I hope on the reunion they address this. Yeah, she does address her about the situation while they're standing at the bar. And then Kiana is basically like, I did that, and what are you gonna do about it? Susan mad as hell, y'all. She ready to go. So she basically runs up, and I believe Kiana did get a few hits in, but Susan actually ended up dropping her. She basically body slammed her, which I was like flabbergasted. But I said, but this girl is like literally she literally has at least 150 pounds on Susan. Like, she's a big girl. And I was amazed. And they kept showing that part, like they kept showing that part in the thing, and I'm like, nah, something must have happened. She must have slipped or something. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't think that Susan's little ass could drop somebody like that, especially not something that much bigger than her. And it was then that I realized that the big girl thinks that because she's big, she has an advantage, which she sort of does, but like, you gotta use your advantage wisely, honey. It's not gonna work on everybody. Honestly, the saying is not about the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog is real, honey. It's real in the field, okay? That is a prime example. Though Susan did say she did not get any hits in, she did not end up landing any hits in Kiana's face. She definitely did body slam her, and she said for her whole life she's been fighting, and she's literally had to fight to survive. And so because of that, she's not afraid, big or small, to go up against anybody. If she has to fight you, she will. The security does show up. They do end up holding each girl back, but Kiana was basically saying how she's proud of Susan. Even though she's the one that's antagonizing Susan and being such an antagonist. Like, you guys have no idea. If we were reading a book right now, a novel, she would be the antagonist in the damn book. Even though she is being that to Susan at this moment, she's saying how she's proud of Susan for even sticking up for herself, even though Susan dropped her. Like, she doesn't care that I don't know. I don't understand the girl. I think she's actually insane. There was a scene where she was talking to Kiara. Other girls were around, but she was talking to Kiara, and Kiara was basically saying to her, like, look, I see that you're kind of getting a little hostile towards me right now because you don't like what you're hearing from me. And then she's like, no, I would never. And just her attitude in that scene made me feel like she might be suffering from something mentally, because I don't know, like, I'm not gonna give her a diagnosis because I ain't no fucking doctor, okay? I'm not gonna give her a diagnosis, but I did feel as though she is suffering from something mentally, or she's struggling with something because of how she reacted in that moment. She just looked like a crazy person, really. She did. I can't sugarcoat that. She looked fucking crazy in that moment. Yeah, she was saying that she was proud of Susan for sticking up for herself even though it was against her. And then because Kiara is extra with her bad wig having ass, she decided that she wanted to now attack Sayara because Sayara was laughing while this fight was going down. And I think it does stem from jealousy because Kiana and Sayara have been real buddy-buddy these last couple of days and sleeping in each other's beds and stuff. And so she felt as though she needed to beef with Sayara all over again, and I was just like, bitch, this is motherfucking, I'm motherfucking tired. Like, please, who cares about Sayora? Like, really? And Sayora's standing up for herself, and I believe they are going to get into it, but of course the credits started rolling because security done stepped in, and we gotta wait till next week to see the end of that fight play out. According to the preview, next week is going to be Shalit. I will see you guys next week for episode 3. I love you all, and I will definitely see you in the next one.